Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode. This week, as previously mentioned, I am pulling the engine out of the 1973 Camaro, and then we're going to start breaking down the engine as well to see hopefully what is going on with that one sound that we kind of discovered a couple episodes back. So without further ado, let's jump right into it and hope you enjoy this episode. Before I go any further into yanking this out, I first wanted to do a compression check on every cylinder. So just bought this compression checker and hooked it up now. So we'll just see what they are reading. Hopefully they're around the normal range of the 180 or so, but if not a huge deal. I'm pulling it out to do a rebuild on it, but I just want to get myself pointed in the right direction of maybe what that sound was a couple videos ago that sounded like a misfire. Cylinder 4, not good. That is right at about 100. Okay, cylinder 4, try number 2. Alrighty, so I got the drive shaft out now, got the exhaust all cut out and dropped from out of the car, so that's just going to the scrap yard because that is completely rotted away. Need to disconnect all the random wiring that's left over, and the biggest thing I have to do is actually drop the linkage for the transmission. I have to disconnect all of this linkage on the side here. Right, can't see that. For the transmission, drop this cross member. I disconnected the speedometer cable as well, which goes right in the side there. So it's going to be, messiest part is going to be underneath here. So I'm not going to film that just because it's too hard to get under here and do everything at the same time. But I'll give you guys an update when everything is disconnected. I already have the clutch linkage disconnected there on the side from a previous episode from doing the header drop, and have to disconnect the engine mounts as well, and we should be good to pull everything. Then a day or two from now, I'll have an extra set of eyes. My father will be out here helping me maneuver the engine out with the transmission. I'm going to drop it and pull it out all as one unit hopefully, and have the hood off already, so just got to pull those two things out together and then I should be set. I have all three of these linkage arms disconnected for the shift linkage. One right there, one right here, and one right there. So next, I just have to disconnect this, the actual shifter itself from the tail end of the transmission. And that way I could then drop everything down, pull out the transmission, and nothing will catch. So I also disconnected all these linkage arms. Cross members out as well, so it's sitting right there. Pretty much set after that to pull it. So far, what I found out is that someone replaced these pistons with the domed pistons. I have to look more into this, get a part number from over in here, look that up. The lifters, they are solid lifters. Here's what the bottoms of them look like. This piston right here should be the one that has compression issues. So I don't know if that was a head gasket. I don't know if the rings are bad. I looked over here on this valve and they all look consistently crusty. So I don't know what's going on, if one of these valves are bad or what. Kind of leave me stumped. I think it might be the piston rings themselves. Here's the block number, V04260L3, I believe. Number here is 13N167607. So you can see 167607 matches. So definitely know this is the original block, at least on this. The heads are period correct too, so I'm guessing those are the original heads. So I'm going to rebuild this engine here. I'm not going to swap it out or anything like that. I'm just going to go for more of a performance street engine. This might be built more for the upper RPM range here. I see some nice cross hatching in the cylinder walls still. They're really smooth, but I'll be taking it apart either way and cleaning everything up. But so far, I don't know, I'm kind of stumped on why that number 4 cylinder has low compression. So next I'm going to be taking off this front half here and taking off the timing chain and pulling the cam out and seeing what that looks like. So this feeler gauge right here, measuring the end play, is 0.018 inches or 0.45 millimeters. Now this is a little bit too thick, but the next size down that I have is 0.40 millimeters, and that's just a little bit loose. You can still wiggle it back and forth a little bit. So taking those numbers and splitting them in half, 0.43 millimeters, and then that would be, I think it's like 0.017 inches, maybe on the end of 0.016 inches. And I was looking that up, and that's on the higher end of the spectrum. There's no play up and down, so that's good. So it's just lateral or axial, I think they call it, play from side to side there. Now cylinder 1 and 2 have the most play out of all of them for the connecting rods, but the rest do have a little bit of play as well. You can see that there probably. It's just nowhere near as big as the 0.43 millimeter, but they all do have some movement. So I think this is, it's fine to run from what I've been reading. They say it might just burn like another cup of oil every couple thousand miles, but I'll try to get this rebuilt. I'm not too sure how to correct the issue. If new, I'm going to replace the bearings either way. I've never had side-to-side play before. Like I said, up and down play is fine. Side to side is where it's noticeable at. Hopefully if I just replace the bearings, maybe that'll tighten it up from the side. But just out of curiosity, if you guys do know anything about this side to side play and what you think of it, just let me know in the comments section, any effects that it could have. I greatly appreciate it. I know there's a lot of good mechanics on this page, so I'll be reading through the comments on what you guys have to say about that. But for now, that's going to do it this week. We got a good amount of stuff done, so I'm happy with the progress that I made. Still getting the tires mounted, getting the headers are also getting sandblasted now. I'm going to start doing the engine bay, cleaning that up and everything too. I'm thinking about doing possibly body color on the engine bay, making it shiny and tucking some wires and everything like that. Don't want to go for a full wire tuck, but just to clean everything up a little bit better, because I am planning on painting the engine block and most of the accessories black with a little bit of maybe just raw aluminum or chrome on top of that. So I'm not going to chrome out the whole engine. I'm just going to do a nice clean overall look. And I think the offset of the body color on the engine bay and as well as underneath the hood, because they have a black / rust underneath the hood, cleaning that up, painting the body color, I think that would offset it and contrast it pretty well. But anyway, I'm blabbering on now. Thanks for checking back with me. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one.